Before getting into the time lapse, I would like to set the stage to the process of this artwork. There are several artists that I look up to and even still do. Most of them are in the manga sphere, but there's one that truly got the ball rolling. She goes by the name of Punisher 2006 on DeviantArt, and I ended up encountering her when looking for Mermaid Melody art to look at. And I ended up getting inspired by her to dive into making art, thinking, if you can make characters related to Mermaid Melody, maybe I can as well. I would argue that her art is what changed my life, if I can be a bit dramatic. Months ago, there was this post that popped up that is now deleted. It wasn't anything bad, but it sounded like there was a good chance she was going to leave DeviantArt. At the time, it's sad but understandable. I remember wishing her the best in the comments since I understood people have been iffy with the site over the years. I would say starting with the Eclipse update and all the way up till now with all the AI integrations that has been putting a lot of artists, including myself, off. Then in mid-December, it hit me like a truck while in bed and chatting on Discord. It was sad to see the artists that got me going leaving the site, and I don't believe they were done with art, but I felt like I don't know what other socials they were active on now that I was also active on. That post the artist made is now gone, and they've recently had several new art pieces uploaded. But that night I decided to plan out a new art piece, a way of saying thank you. So, let's work on the Rainbow Empress, shall we? So this ended up being a much more ambitious piece than I originally thought, and I still love how this came out even when recording this. But I feel like it's a good idea to take a step back and basically kind of go over like, who is this character? This is essentially the character that got me to start making my own characters in the first place. She goes by the name of Keiki Dashi. A Empress of, I believe the American name is called Caillou. Sorry, I don't have the notes up exactly, but she ended up being the character that I looked at and thought, yes, maybe I can make my own character. The elements I ended up really liking the most was her rainbow kind of attire. You can definitely see that with the pearl. Without it being cut off, you will see that also her tail has a rainbow vibe. I just thought that was so unique, so cool, and honestly, I felt like, okay, let me try to do that as well. And well, not do that as well, but it basically just like grabbed my interest so much more. That and the white hair that honestly looked very lovely with the bang over her eye as well. It's probably no surprise. This is her most popular original character out of all of her characters. It's both a sad thing and a good thing because there are some other characters, but since she is most popular, since she is the most known for that, that's kind of why I chose Keiki, especially for her attire, which I'll get into later. Now, the inspiration for this art piece ended up coming from a video by TPPO called How Learning from Rella Fixed My Boring Lighting. Essentially, when I looked at this, I was like, okay, maybe I can do something like that as well. Or at least try my best to get close to that kind of style, because I do want to get better with my lighting, I want to get better with my composition in some aspects, and so I ended up watching this video and I ended up getting the book that was featured in it, Life for Visual Artists by Richard Yore, as well as kind of studying more of Rella's artwork. Rella has this beautiful like talent for lighting. It probably developed so much over the years, but it honestly looks better than some studio pieces with how the hair ends up catching some of the light as well as some of the dust as well. It ended up being kind of, oddly enough, another inspiration that I want to go for in the future. The key elements I feel like really made this artwork really stand out is a few things. The first is I'll go over right now, the attire preference. The attire I went with is one of the many designs of Keiki's Daichi's dress. It's more of a regal feeling. I, of course, really like the poofy more designs, and so, of course, I wanted to go for that one. What ended up happening next is just like getting all the metals, the pearls, and the glow. My goodness. Okay. Trying to get the shading for those down is honestly more difficult than I originally thought. It's subtle. It's these like subtle differences that you wouldn't be able to tell unless you like looking closely, especially after all the lighting and effects. The main pearl, I wanted to make sure I get right though, since it was basically the centerpiece and wasn't really encompassed by the overall glow. The reason for the glow is two-part. It's basically creating a bit of a strong close light source while having strong or stronger backlight source, giving her a bit of a glow around her. Henceforth, I basically wanted to go for a rather awkward angle when it came to the water. And this is something I definitely played with for a while, at least in the coloring stages or the gradient coloring stages for the art piece. I wanted it so that basically the water looked like it was coming from an angle rather than just straight down or straight forward. Like, and trying to get that angle is actually much harder than I originally thought. And even gathering references, I noticed that it was actually much more difficult to do so than I originally anticipated. Because, of course, my brain thought it would just be like a triangle kind of like slant or a slope of sorts. That's not the case, especially when it comes to water in the ocean. But I honestly am really happy with how it came out. And when you put all the lighting together, all that together, rim lighting, it just came out so damn beautiful. And honestly, for the longest time after finishing this piece, I was really worried how Final 6 would take this piece, because I literally think this is one of my best ones yet, but it's also a gift, and I just want to make sure the gift is good. We just got out. We just got out of Christmas, and I'm already worried about the next gift. But yeah, this is well. I'll say in the outro, but like I say, it's just like I love how this came out. I am absolutely blown away with how this artwork came out. There is something so mystical with this calm vibe that I love about it so much. It's so amazing that I just ended up having a big grin on my face every time I look at it, even after the process. Some elements are not the same that I pictured, but I can't deny this just feels, well, amazing. I'm trying to think of other words without breaking out thesaurus, but it's amazing just ends up keep coming to mind. In the end, though, this was basically a gift. A way of showing appreciation to the artist that got me to start drawing, even unintentionally. To give them a piece that years of practice and experimentation helped refine into what you see here. To give them a visual representation of simply thank you for being the one to help start this art journey.